How to speak confidently in public. Hello, my name is Mugabe Joshua. Speaking in public is a fear for a lot of people, whether it's giving a speech, a toast at your friend's wedding, or being called on in class. Fortunately, you can make speaking in public less anxiety-inducing by following some of these types. It may never be your favorite thing, but you'll be far less likely to throw up in front of your audience. Part 1. Preparing to speak. 1. Know your subject. Part of making yourself a comfortable and dynamic public speaker is to make sure you know what you're talking about, and you know it well. Lacking knowledge can make you anxious and uncertain when you're speaking, and that will come through to your audience. 2. Train your body. While speaking in public isn't like running a race, there are still things you can do to make sure that your body cooperates with you. This goes beyond not shifting your weight from foot to foot while you're talking. Hold your toes still, and you won't find yourself doing this. It has to do with breathing, with projecting and making sure you're speaking properly. 3. Practice pacing. People speak a lot more quickly when they're just having a conversation, but that sort of speech doesn't work when you're speaking in front of a group. Your audience needs to be able to follow along with what you're saying and be allowed time to process the speech. 4. Know your speech. Knowing your speech is just as important as knowing the subject you're giving the speech on. There are also different ways of giving speeches, so you'll need to pick the way that works best for you. 5. Memorize your speech. While you don't necessarily have to memorize your speech or talking points, it can be a great way to help you appear confident and easy in your subject matter. Make sure that you have enough time set aside to do this. However, 6. Know your audience. You need to know who you're giving your speech to, because things that might go over well with one type of audience are going to anger or bore another type. For example, you wouldn't want to be informal during a business presentation, but you might be informal with a group of college students. 7. Practice. This is hugely important if you want your speaking in public venture to go well. It's not enough to know your material and what you're trying to get across. You need to have done it enough times that you feel easy in it. It's like breaking in shoes. The first few times you wear them, you're going to get blisters, but soon they'll be comfortable and fit you well. Part 2. Honing your message. 1. Pick the right type of speech. The 3 types of speeches are informative, persuasive, entertaining. While there can be overlap between the different types, they each have a specific function that they fulfill. 2. Avoid a rambling opening. You've definitely heard the speech that opens with, "When I was asked to give this speech, I wondered what to say." Don't do it. This is one of the most boring ways to start a speech. It rambles all over the place through the presenter's personal life and is almost never as entertaining as the presenter thinks it is. 3. Have a clear structure. To avoid having a speech that ends up all over the place, you will need to construct a clear format. Remember, you're not trying to overwhelm your audience with facts and ideas. 4. Use the right language. Language is incredibly important in writing and in giving a speech. You'll want to stay away from lots of really big and unwieldy words, because no matter how smart your audience is, they're going to lose interest quickly if you're hitting them over the head with the dictionary. 5. Keep it simple. You want your audience to be able to easily follow your speech and to remember when you're finished. Not only does that mean having striking images and surprising facts, it means that it needs to be simple and to the point. If you meander into the quagmires of tangentially related subjects, you're going to lose your audience. Part 3. Speaking in public. 1. Deal with your anxiety. Pretty much everyone gets a little anxious before they have to get up in front of people and talk. Hopefully, you're already prepared with your speech and you know how to give it. Fortunately, there are some ways to make those jitters more manageable. 2. Smile at the audience. Smile at them as they come into the room if you're out there, or smile when you get up in front of them. This will make it seem like you're confident and ease the atmosphere both for you and for them. 3. Give a performance. Speaking in public of any kind is all about performance. You can make your speech interesting or boring depending on the performance you give. You need to have an on-stage persona that you use while you're speaking. 4. Engage the audience. 5. Talk more slowly. 6. Have a good closing. People remember the beginning and the ending of a speech. They rarely remember the middle bits.